All right, today is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. The time is now 7:04. We are going to open this council regular session. And so if you could join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. We have no hometown heroes, so you have somebody get those applications in because we would love to celebrate our hometown heroes. Now we are going to open it up for visitor comments. Now's the time for visitor comments. The visitor comment period is an essential part of local government meetings. Each person has 3 minutes to speak. Please keep it 3 minutes or less. The city council will take into input all consideration. However, in observance of the Oregon open meeting laws, this isn't the time for dialogue, but rather a time for us to listen to you, our city administrator and city recorder of action if needed, and we'll follow up with you. Please make sure you provided contact information on the sign-in sheet in the back of the room in case they need to get a hold of you to follow up. And with that, we'll ask for the first person to come up and state your name for the record.
My name is Kit Gardis. I'm a Columbia City resident, not St. Helens. And I have a letter that I wrote to the council, mayor. Okay. Yesterday, May the 6th, at approximately 3:30 in the afternoon, I could have been killed at the intersection of Gable Road and Highway 30. This is not the first close call that I've had at this intersection, but it frightened me enough to come and ask for your help. I was in my car, first in line in the left turn lane on Gable Road between Safeway and US Bank. It's only by sheer luck that I did not enter the intersection when the light turned green. A semi-truck with trailer heading east on Highway 30 came into the intersection when the light was clearly red. He did not slow down. He was not slowing down. He came through at speed. Had I taken the turn a second earlier, I wouldn't be reading this to you tonight. And I'm still very shaken by the incident. I realize that the police department cannot monitor this dangerous intersection at all times, but given the number of near misses and accidents that occur at this spot, can't something be done? At the very least, could a traffic camera be installed to photograph the drivers endangering our lives and hold them accountable? In Portland and other cities, this technology has been effective for years in curbing the abuse of traffic rules and possibly preventing deaths. A camera could not possibly be as expensive as hiring another police officer. Thank you for your consideration.
Next person.
Brady Preheim. First, I'd like to again express my concern for the selection for the chief of police. I think it's a corrupt process. I don't think any of you should be involved within it. I think that you are deliberately setting the situation up to not select Chief Hogue. And I think that it needs to be outsourced. And I'd like to know where that process is, because it's been multiple weeks since that is done and I haven't heard a single thing. And so I'm very concerned that you are working to enhance the lawsuit that's already been filed against you. Secondly, I do want to comment about the waterfront redevelopment. I have been reluctant to say anything about it because there's good things and there's bad things, but I am concerned about a number of cracks that are already in the pavement. There are multiple areas, and I don't know if this is a design problem, a construction problem, or a material problem, but these are improvements that are supposed to last decades. And literally it's been a couple of months and there are multiple areas where the pavement's cracked, where the bricks are cracked, where the devices around the lights at the bottom, whatever you want to call it, the topping is cracked. It's bad. and it should be fixed. I also really am annoyed by the little black spot of asphalt in front of Lotus where they clearly screwed up and cut the concrete and just filled it with black. It looks like crap. Again, we are paying top dollar for this and now it looks like garbage. I also cannot believe that you put the fencing, the new guardrails up that are, looks like something that you rescued off the Titanic. The rusted looks awful. Finally, the landscaping is ridiculously bad. I could do a better job of it myself. And I assume that you've only half buried the plants because there's gonna be some kind of mulch put over top of it. But they're ugly. And the railing should have been powder coated. I mean, it looks awful. Not only does it get on your clothes, I don't understand why we're putting a new railing that's all rusted. It looks really, really ugly. And the cracks need to be fixed. And if you need me to go spray paint orange all over the city, I can show you where they're at because there's a lot of them. And they're supposed to last decades, not 2 months.
Next public comment.
Jenny Gilbert, St. Helens resident. You guys, we watched in real time. You gaslight us today. And I just want to tell you that the masses are, they can see right through it. I don't know why you guys aren't aware of this, but the general public is not happy with you guys. And I think if you don't write your course, you're going to find out how unhappy they are with you. What you did today over the zoning with the police department is not okay. You already made a decision and you pretended to ask the public. I do not agree with putting that building on property we don't even own. I don't even understand the logic behind that. Additionally, we don't need a Taj Mahal because we can't afford officers. We're not even going to be able to hire them. There's going to be a lot of budget cut probably that's going to happen. So we need to get this building built and we need to crunch the numbers and find out if it's better to put it on where it already is. Property that we actually own. Yeah, we might have costs of redoing the plans again, but we don't have money. You can't, you can't make money come out of nowhere. I also agree that you guys do not need to be in selection of the new police chief while there's a lawsuit that needs to be put on hold until that's all comes to a decision and a close. I do not agree with Jennifer Massey saying that accusations shouldn't be paid attention to. They absolutely should be. It is a definite conflict of interest, her making any decisions on the police department beyond financial for her husband. She actually promised me that her husband would resign if any problems came out of the police department, and she hasn't even held up on that. I have that in writing. I just, guys, do better. I like you all. I think you're very wise. The public is not happy with you right now, and I've tried to warn you.
Public comment, please. Anybody online? Yes.
Hello, this is Nicholas Helmick, City of St. Helens. Hope you all having a great night. First thing I kind of wanted to bring up is the potential increase in the water bill. I used to work at Community Action Team, and you're going to be really causing a lot of senior citizens and vulnerable populations to have to make a decision whether they buy medication or food. That's a decision that you'll have to make. I suggest maybe seeing if we can put it on the property tax to make that a lighter impact on month-to-month struggles that people may have. I do want to quote Webster's dictionary, the definition of conflict of interest, a situation in which a person is in a position to derive personal benefit from actions or decisions made in their official capacity. I do respect you, Jennifer. I just do think that if we take a step back and look at things, me being a veteran, being in the Navy, perception is reality. I mean, the perception of the situation currently is that you will benefit from this police station. May not be you directly, but you're in a position to directly impact your husband in a positive way by your position of power. I just want to kind of go back to the water bill. My wife and I are dual income, and even with our decent income, it's still going to be some cutbacks for us as well. And we are by no means a struggling family or anything like that. So I think there needs to be a better way for this police station to be paid for. I understand wanting to have the police station on our own property, but if that's not possible, we have a big Rite Aid building that's been up for rent for a while. So I don't know what that would look like purchasing that building, if the cost would work out to be cheaper, more, or the same. I just think that we're kind of closed-minded in our approach of trying to keep purchasing more properties and spending more money when we're pretty dead broke when it comes to this. We're going to be out of our reserves, and we're just spending money like it's not ours. And it's not your money, so it's easier for, I guess, the council to make that decision to spend money constantly. I understand also wanting to attract tourism and attract investors. So you all have a very big decision to make that's going to impact every single citizen, especially our senior citizens and the most vulnerable people in our community. And I hope you make the right decision. Thank you.
Online? Okay, so we will move into number one on our list, which is, and hopefully I have the most, John, I don't think I have that up here. Hold on. Wait, is that all the same with this? This one, why is yours highlighted? Okay, let me know if I get off here. So the number one is zone map amendment, ZA .1.25, the change portion of property for 1771 Glenwood Boulevard from general commercial GC to Holton Business District HBD, make entire property HBD. And again, just as I said in the last one, for the record, disclose a potential conflict of interest. My husband's a St. Helens City police officer. I'm not biased, and I'm confident that I can act objectively in the best interest of the city. Now, for deliberations for number one. Counselor Sunday?
I don't, most of the information that I got came from Jacob's report. I thought it was very well done. I think regardless of whether a police station goes there or not, this is something that probably should have happened, like you said, to clean things up. Yes, if the police station goes there, this will need to happen anyway. But if it doesn't, it's not like it's a bad thing. Just reading the owner's comments back from 2009 about wanting to make apartments and do all these things there a long time ago, and it hasn't happened. So I think let's get it cleaned up. Let's make it fit the surrounding areas. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think we have, initiatives in the city to give some attention to the Holton Business District. So whether or not police station goes there or not, we have, a lot of plans to try to help that area and see some of improvements. So I think this is a step in that direction.
I had a little note here on this zoning allows a broader range of residential uses in the GC, including detached single family homes, duplexes. So this broadens the development of opportunities rather than restricting them. So the planning commission and the staff found no adverse effects to doing this. And so, no, that's kind of how I feel about it. I didn't see that there was anything that was a negative about doing it. Maybe except for RV stuff. Potentially.
Yes, that's the one thing that would be prohibited, our RV.
Right, so I picked that out of that was the one negative aspect. Otherwise, it seems to allow more fruitful opportunities going forward, more of a diverse opportunity to change this and the housekeeping aspect. Counselor Hubbard?
The Holton District's a real gem. It needs to be rounded like Jacob has done, and he does this all over town. It's nothing new. So I'm glad to see it done for whatever use it is. It's actually going to be more valuable after it changes. So I'm in favor.
Any other comments on it? All right, anybody want to make a motion? Do we need a motion? Do we need a motion on this, Jacob?
Yeah, we need a motion, and if it's approved, then we would bring an ordinance back for ordinance adoption.
I'll make a motion to approve zone map amendment ZA 125 to change portion of the property at 1771 Columbia Boulevard from general commercial to Holton Business District and make the entire property HBD.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion second, Counselor Sundin.
Aye.
Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Counselor Hubbard, and I'm aye as well. Ordinance on to the first reading. Somebody want to read this lengthy thing? For ordinance, number 3308.
No one else has that. You're the only one who has that.
Am I the only one that has this? All right. Guess we are reading this, correct?
She has the full
Okay,
thing that.
So it's ordinance number 3308, an ordinance adopting the economic opportunities analysis, stormwater master plan, wastewater master plan, and the water master plan as addendums to the St. Helens comprehensive plan and amending the St. Helens municipal code chapters 1908, 1924, and adding chapters 1938, 1940, and 1924 too. All
In
right,
the packet, do we need to read it? Is that normal?
Oh, was that what you were talking about?
you have the same one I have, right?
It's.
There was an updated agenda.
I thought you were talking about reading this.
Yeah, don't we have to read this?
You don't have to read the whole ordinance out loud.
Oh, thank goodness.
That's what she was talking.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay,
I'll read it, but I don't know mock
She was
speed.
trying to get me to read it. I'm like, I don't have
I'm
it.
getting a mock speed. Okay, so we can just do a motion and approve it because it was in the packet. I've already read it. Yes,
That's what you did is fine. Yes.
Okay.
sorry, that's
I'll
my,
make a motion to approve ordinance number 3308 as read.
that's the first reading.
Oh, okay. So
First
does
reading,
it,
so we don't.
we don't need to do anything. Okay.
Okay, so first reading, we're not doing anything.
All right.
Got it. Thank you for getting us straight over there, Crystal.
One
And
of the reasons we'd read it first is so that you don't have to read the whole thing. If it was an emergency ordinance implementing, we would have to read the whole thing public again. Sometimes they're.
thank you for the clarification. Did not want to have to read the whole thing. Okay, so we'll move on to number 3, the award bid contracts. And number 3 is award bid and authorize mayor to sign contract with Pillar Associates for Reservoir Sitting Study Project number W-484.
Making motion to award bid or contract to authorize the mayor to sign contract with Keller Associates for reservoir siting study.
All right, we have a motion second. Counselor Sundin.
Aye.
Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Counselor Hubbard.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Number 4. Award bid and authorize mayor to sign contract with TFT Construction for Gable Road Rectangular Rapid Flashing Beacon, RRFB installation project number R-721 in the amount of $42,190.
I move we award bid and authorize the mayor to sign the contract as read.
Second.
All right, we have a motion second. Counselor Sundin.
Aye.
Counselor President Chilton.
Aye.
Counselor Hubbard.
Aye.
I'm an aye as well. All right, so moving on to approve and authorize for signature. Number 5, city council minutes dated April 14th, 2025. Number 6, amendment to number 2 contract, financing contract with Oregon Business Development Department for the for the waterfront redevelopment project. Number 7, amendment number 3 to agreement with OTAC CPM for public safety building construction project management. Number 8, letter of support on behalf of RSG Telecom for broadband equity access and deployment, BEAD, grant program for the Columbia County led broadband project. 9, letter of engagement with CDR Labor Law LLC for legal services related to labor and employment law. And number 10, contract with Grayling Engineers for the Belton Sewer Step System Capacity Study number S-685.
You were missing one.
Which one? What
9 and 11 are off.
they are?
Yeah, 9 was the,
Come on, John.
yeah, that was the discrepancy. And I laid out the agenda was the.
Okay, so we had 8, 9, letter of support on behalf of Astound
You were
Broadband.
missing that.
Yeah, number 9, well, I'll just remedy these numbers real quick. 5 through 8 were correct. 9, letter of support on behalf of Astound Broadband and Broadband Equity Access and Deployment BEAD Grant Program. And then 10, contract. Yes, contract with Grayling Engineers for Belton Sewer.
And I have letter of engagement.
I don't have a 10 on mine. Okay, we are, can I just have your paper? Because I don't have what you guys have here. 10, letter of engagement was, thank you. So 9, was right. 10, letter of engagement with CDR Labor Law LLC for legal services related to labor and employment law. And number 11, contract with Grayling Engineers for Belton Sewer Step System Capacity Studies Project number S685. I didn't think we were gonna get that. I have just,
Yeah, take it, please.
yes, please.
I move we approve and or authorize for signature items 5 through 11 as read.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion, a second, Counselor Sundin.
is there any discussion?
Oh, discussion?
Yeah, discussion on.
It looked like you did.
Thank you.
Something there.
I thought it was gonna be Belton. Okay.
I just still have heartburn on Belton.
It is Belton.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's Belton. $200,000 for seeing if we can hook up 3 possible lots. Which normally in a situation like that, a lot of contractors have to pay for that to hook up. Maybe the city doesn't know what they have. I didn't think engineering would take that much to do it. Sharon has said no, that they don't have the capability of doing it, but I just think at this point in time, $200,000 is save. There.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was already like, it wasn't coming from anywhere. It was already a part of their budget. Is that correct, John, or something along those lines?
Engineering has the resources to do the study.
What a concept to actually have a budget and have some at the end of the year, you could put it to the next year. What about that?
Rolling it over? I mean, is that a possibility, John?
It's within your authority to delay it, sure.
Okay.
I mean, if I can be proven that it's so desperate needed, is that something, I didn't, said they don't have the software to do it, that would cost 15,000.
What do you think, Brendan?
If it's not urgent, I'm okay with putting it off for a while. Sharon's been here, twice, talking about the need for it, but
Karen's hand is raised. She's online. If you want, do you have any questions for her?
Karen, do you want to comment?
There she goes.
Oh, can you hear me now? Oh, okay, great. I just want to just make sure that this is for the signing of the contract, and Grayling's cost when we did the scoping meeting with them 2 weeks ago, it's well under $200,000. So I don't know the number off the top of my head. It should be in the contract, but I believe it's about $170,000 to do this work. I just wanted to clarify that.
Can you also clarify, is this a time of the essence situation?
Or can we do it later?
We can do it later. We're probably going to pay a lot more for it. And like I said before, this is we have the opportunity to do it now. We have the budget to do it. And I think that's all I can say about it at this point in time.
The existing services, are they compromised at all if you didn't do anything?
This isn't about the existing services. This is about being able to make the decision when new development comes into that area. And like I said, we've been asked about it before, and being able to actually tell them whether or not they can and cannot connect. So right now, the way it is that we don't have the information. We need to make that decision. And so the decision will have to be that, no, you cannot connect. And it'll have to be that until we actually know what we have going on with this system that's really unknown to us.
When's the last time somebody asked or inquired the need to connect to the system?
I want to say it's about 1.5 to 2 years ago. If Jacob is still in the room, he might remember, because I think I worked on it with him. But I want to say it's 1.5 to 2 years,
What did
possibly.
With that inquiry?
So yeah, I can speak on this. So it came up when there was a land partition proposed on a larger property on that road. So someone purchased a property, they wanted to divide it in order to build a new home. And so at that time, what we did is, okay, we weren't too sure of the capacity, and so we wanted the applicant's engineer to attest to the ability of the system to be able to accommodate another household. And I remember at that time, Sue Nelson, who was the city engineer, she may have been public works director, I can't remember that timeline, but in any case, I do recall her being concerned about that we really didn't have a foundation to be able to confirm the information that was being presented to us. And really that was kind of the beginning of this, oh man, Belton Road Terrace, that's where we started scratching our head, just because of that unknown. So I think their goal is for things to be more known, so we have that information should we be presented with that again in the future. And Sharon, please correct me if I misspoke.
So I want to go back to that really quick. So when their engineer was attesting, right, we were required to do that. We didn't have any information, if what I'm hearing you is correct, that to come back and say we either concur or just, disagree with you based on don't know what our system is. So what did you do in that situation? Like,
So the best we could do was, well, a professional looked at it, I guess it's right. For the purpose at that time.
How many lots could potentially be developed there? I mean, how many houses could go there?
I know there's another undeveloped lot. So that's one. And then there's a larger lot kind of in the middle. Now it's complicated because you have a big wetland here, a big wetland here. But maybe 3, 4 total. And I'm kind of shooting from the hip a bit. But there are constraints that would probably make a greater density subdivision impractical.
The only questions I have. I'm ready to make a decision about it.
all right. So we had a motion and a second. Counselor Sundin.
For all of them.
That's what the motion is for right now, yeah.
Aye.
Council President Shelton. Nay. Counselor Hubbard.
This is just, did you say this
For
is for
all of them
This
right
is for
now.
all of them right now.
all of them?
All of them. Every single one. With the right number from 5 to 11.
I'd have to say nay.
I'm a nay as well, so shall we reread this? Okay.
Sorry. Or did you say nay or did you abstain? You
Said nay.
Nay.
Nay, okay.
That was 3 nays.
So let's, why don't we try this? Let's split these each out. How about that? Can we do that? Okay, so, can we approve and authorize for signature number 5?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to approve items 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 as read.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Counselor Cindy.
Aye.
Council President Chill.
Aye.
Counselor Hubbard. And I'm an aye as well. All right, somebody wants to do a motion for 11?
I'm gonna make a motion to approve number 11 as read.
Second.
Okay, motion second, Counselor Sundin.
Aye.
Council President Chilton.
Nay.
Counselor Hubbard.
Nay.
And I'm going to be a nay as well for right now. I'd like to see this come back when after the budget.
I'm sorry, Sharon. I appreciate you, but not the best time.
Okay, appointments to city boards and commissions, number 12. appoint Aaron Wielden to the library board, and I was on that interview. Does anybody have any-
Motion to appoint Aaron Wielden to the library board.
I'll second. All right, we have a motion second. Counselor Sundin.
Aye.
Council President Chilton. Aye. Counselor Hubbard.
Aye.
I'm aye as well. Consent agenda for acceptance, number 13, library board minutes dated March 10th, 2025, and number 14, library board special meeting minutes dated March 10th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda items 13 and 14.
Second.
Okay, motion second, Counselor Sundin.
Aye.
Council President Chilton. Aye. Counselor Hubbard.
Aye.
And I as well. Consent agenda for approval, number 15, accounts payable bill list.
Your turn, Russ.
I'll make a motion, Russ. Number 15.
15, accounts payable list. A motion.
Approve it. Okay. Yeah, I'll second. Okay, we've got a motion. We got a second. Counselor Sundin.
Aye.
Council President Chilton. Counselor Hubbard.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. All right, work session items. The only thing I had two items on here. One was just to reconfirm on the public comment that we are going to, as a council or city administrator, give notice to Dawn to direct for any verification on public comments or information. And Crystal would be going direction through. I don't think we need to make a motion on it. I think just a general consensus that we're doing that.
Yeah.
And then also some of the additional items that we would like our goals as council individually or collectively, that we can add those to the other business if they, come up and encourage to do so at the regular council meetings. I think that's a general consensus as well. We already have the place for that, correct? We're good on general consensus with that, John? Okay, and then the only other thing was the Armani Center. So we had that second presentation, the first time that they came in. We had the talking points that were provided, and we really weren't given any type of request on what monetary value that they were looking for or what they were looking for. And so we had a second presentation today and came in at approximately 99,658 for several different things on options for development, SDCs, permits, permit, reviews, etc. And did a great presentation on putting the information together. And so it's up for us to discuss now to see if there's anything that we potentially would like to do as council in regards to helping the Amani Center.
Well, this has been a really tough one for me because I truly feel a lot of gratitude for the Amani Center and the programs that they hold for the community, the community partnerships. They're such a valued member of St. Helens, but I just don't feel like we can make any accommodations at this time. We are just really strapped with the city, and we have to be conservative right now, and we have to make sure that every single dollar that we spend is truly accounted for, because we are looking at making some huge cuts in this city. And it pains me to say that, it truly does, but it's just not a good time.
I think it's too bad we can't just waive those because other cities can do that at some point in time. But they're feeling the pain just like a contractor does. So it's across the board, the costs. We can't cut the city out of any funds for we need to come up with. My only possible answer is that if you want to make a policy on SDC system development charges, and then across the board also with everybody, you could bancroft those, which is pay them off in time. And that's legally can be done in Oregon. If that was one avenue that could be looked at, I'm not sure that It reduces the revenue, but you still get it down the road.
Counselor Sunday?
Yeah, I echo what's been said. I think it's a great resource, do a lot of great things in the community for those that need it the most. And just again, not the best timing. I would ask maybe we could look at it again after budget season and see if there's any change. But I do agree with Mr. Hosky's comments earlier that I think a policy overall on how we handle these kind of requests would be helpful to have.
So I'm curious, I mean, obviously, I made it in, comments earlier today, like the Amani Center just is heartbreaking. I mean, just the amount of kids that in this community that they see is just horrendous. And I know there's a lot of really fantastic organizations that are looking to, help people, whether it's, the senior center, but I just look at these littles as some of the most vulnerable that we have in this community, and it's just sad. I'm not in favor of doing anything with SDCs, and I mean, if we even had a policy, I mean, I like your way of thinking of outside the box as some type of deferment. I don't think any type of full waiver is fiscally prudent, but I'm also curious if we need to do any type of partial reduction or deferral on permits or review to help them at all, that it's not applying to the SDCs. I mean, if we could do something that can demonstrate without impacting our SDCs that have to come for something else, that, I don't know, is there a possibility of anything like that? Or a deferral or, I mean, I know we need the money too, clearly.
As far as the SDCs go, there is a state law that says that cities have to require payment plans for SDCs. And that may not be much relief for this project,
But outside of SDCs.
outside of SDCs.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, building permits, those are within the council's discretion. There are going to be some hard costs related to that as far as third-party contractors, review structural things of that nature.
A hard one.
I mean, I still feel the same. I just feel like it's not a good time. I don't feel like we could make accommodations right now and then a month later cut our library program.
Yeah, I agree.
Possibly. Like it just is not, I'm gonna stick with where I'm at with that.
How does the council feel about even just deferring this request and keeping it in a parking lot? And then after things shake out and the budget's done, if we end up selling surplus property and we're in a better position financially, that we could agree to come back and look at if there's any opportunities to help here.
She did say today that she's been waiting for us to give her an answer because they need to move forward on some of their things. So I think that the best thing to do for now would to tell her to move forward with what she's doing and then come back to us down the line instead of her waiting around for us to possibly make a decision to help, and just being upfront and honest with her about where we're at and telling her that it's just not a good time and maybe coming back in the future.
That was one of the first costs, so that's what he's trying to get.
Well, I know, and that's why I'm saying it's better than, I don't want to keep kicking the can down the road with her, thinking that we might be able to
No.
help or we might not. We should be upfront about it and, so that they can pursue other
I
options.
agree with that. She's at a stopgap right now.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with that piece, but I also don't want this just because it is so important to waste it. I'm looking at Jacob. Like, you got any ideas over there? What was what was it?
What was it again?
What were you-
Royal Ranger.
Royal Ranger. Yeah, exactly. You have any suggestions?
On how to provide them relief.
Anything
Relief?
you can come that wouldn't be severely, wouldn't really be impactful to the city.
Not offhand. Cause you're dealing with building fees and SCCs. I really don't get involved in building fees. So it's out of my wheelhouse a little bit.
So maybe we make the motion to say no, and then we agree to ask them to come back after things get sorted out and see if there's anything we could potentially do.
Yeah, and I know there's been talk about, they've been trying to find different ways creatively to raise money. And so I think, connecting them with Treadway for some
Mhm.
volunteer opportunities during our big tourism events where they can generate some of that revenue, where I think that would be also something that we could do to help them.
I love that. Good idea. All right. Do we need to make a motion on that?
So, do we? I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so. It was just discussing. Okay. All right.
See how we always look at Kathy?
I know. Yeah, we look at Kathy. Crystal, you're doing a great job, Crystal. All right. So that's all I had for work session items. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
Council member reports. Counselor Sundin?
I don't have a lot tonight. I do want to offer my condolences to Dave Elder's family. I think Dave was a great guy and happy I had the opportunities to rub shoulders with him a little bit. Also want to recognize Lisa and Kathy this week for Municipal Clerks Week and thank them for all the good work they do and holding the place together. Do want to address a couple of Mr. Freeheim's comments. So you missed our work session today, Brady. Wasn't the same without you. May 29th is when the police candidate interviews will be taking place for the chief. So I think John mentioned that in his report today. Also regarding the police station, I'm still firm in the belief that we need a new police station. And I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for myself that I am not sold on the Columbia Boulevard site. I still have concerns with it. Out of the sites we're talking about now, maybe it is the best option, but no, I'm not 100% sold on that. I'm not convinced that everything's going to work out and it's going to be a great location. But again, I'm firm in the belief that we do need a police station, and I'm firm in the belief that we need to get moving on it and acting on it because, again, the idea that the public hasn't been involved in this process, this has been a process that's been going on for 5+ years. And there has been public forums. Tonight we had a public forum and we had 3-4 people here. So there has been many opportunities for the public to be involved in the process, including the committee years ago, and keep coming back to this site. So again, I'm still not convinced that that's the best spot, but I think we need a station and I think we need to get moving on it. So I hope we can come to a reasonable solution, but I think that's all I got tonight.
Tonight, huh?
Not tonight.
Dang it. I was so looking forward to that too. Council President Chilton.
I wanted to give a shout out to St. Helens Girls Softball League. They have been around for a long time. At one point, I was on their board, and I've coached kiddos on that team, and my kids play for them. And I know Counselor Sundin's kids play, and it's really wonderful when you drive down to Boise and you see the cars lined up and the kids and the families everywhere, and you drive by Campbell and the lights are on. And I just have a special place in my heart for softball. So I wanted to give them a little shout out. This year they have 18 teams, 221 kids signed up. And so that's a lot of families in St. Helens. And so it's really amazing to see a program like that really touches so many different families sitting there. I wish I could walk around to every single person with a microphone asking them what they think about the police station. Because I'm like, they're all here right now. Come on, give me your input. But it's just great to see them out there enjoying the parks. And St. Helens Girls Softball has really been taking care of those Boise fields. They do all the maintenance. They have been there for years taking care of those fields and really giving it a place for, kids to play sports. So I wanted to give them a shout out for that. I also wanted to put a plug in because one of their storage sheds at the Boise Fields was recently broken into and a lot of their equipment was stolen. So they have been selling some St. Helens Girls Softball swag at their concession stands at Boise and Campbell. So I want to, give a plug for if you want to do something to help out with that program and trying to replace some of that equipment that was stolen. That's something that you can do. And then lastly, I wanted to welcome a couple of new businesses to St. Helens, Glazed and Confused. They were at the Lodge Food Carts in Scappoose, and they've recently acquired a brick and mortar in St. Helens. So I want to welcome them to the city of St. Helens. They have some really great donuts, and I'm looking forward to them opening up and coming by in the morning and grabbing a couple donuts on my way to work. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Northwest Plumbing and Sass at Home. They have been around for a long time, but they've kind of been on the outskirts. So now they're coming within the city, and they have so much in the works to beautify that building and just bring a lot of life to that area. So I'm super excited about that. And I just want to welcome them both to the city of St. Helens. Councilor Howard.
Glad to see the police station moving forward, but it's been a hard one. I've been on it for trying to get this thing for years. I was on the siting committee that picked the site on Columbia Boulevard that we're going for now. And then I don't know what happened within the politics and government because I wasn't involved. But it went away and spent a lot of money on time on things. So I want to see it happen. Money's always an issue with any kind of development. And I think we have to go at it sensibly and hear from the contractor, a closer figure, feel good about that. And then figure out how we're going to get it done. And then as far as Brady saying that he knew everything we were doing, well, I guess that's the definition of transparency. So there you go.
Right. So I just want to always thank staff. So, Lisa and Kathy's not here today, but Crystal, you've done a great job managing today. So we super appreciate that and always appreciate Kathy as well as, all of our city staff that makes the city run. They do a lot every single day. Was able to have lunch on the day that facilitated the Take Your Child to Work Day, which Crystal did a fantastic job as well. Counselor President Chilton participated in that, and seeing those kids here and the excitement that they had to go
Future of our city.
Yeah, to go to the, look at all the different aspects of the city and the little effort or the effort that was put into engaging with the children was pretty awesome to see. I also want to give a shout out to Suzanne, the library board director. She's just done a phenomenal job in her communication. Like she is on point and letting everybody know what's as far as the board members and stuff that's going on in the library. And it's just a huge shout out to her. She spends a lot of time on making sure that she's very, very articulate in what's going on. I do have a couple of things that I kind of want to look at is the RV that is on Old Portland Road or Port Avenue, excuse me, that is now a complete shambles of it's like, I think it's on private property. I don't know, but it is
On the port property.
I think it might be, I'm not exactly sure. I had Onyx out there, but if it's ours, we should be looking at like something. It's a safety hazard. You see, I walk by it every day. People are in it. There was obviously a fire. Now it's in bad shape, and it doesn't. If we have any jurisdiction at all, we should try to remedy it because it's not a good situation over there.
It is on private property.
It is, yeah. It's on private property. So I don't know if we can encourage the landowner or the broker to do something about it, but it's certainly not a good look there. Also, we had a public comment today about Gable and Highway 30. And, I hope I don't know what we have to look into that intersection. I mean, obviously, I have a serious issue with that as well. I was seriously injured and my car was totaled in that intersection on that flashing yellow. There are a lot of accidents there, and I've heard from multiple officers about the fact that light is potentially unsafe. I think we had an officer that left it was on some type of traffic study or something, but it just seems like if there's something that can be done with that light, I mean, it's just a horrible
Highway though, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we have any jurisdiction over anything or if we have any feedback, but it's I mean, hearing that tonight, and she's obviously shaken up, and I just went through that. I still haven't been able to run since that. So that was January 24th. So it's a bad intersection in my mind. So I don't know if we can do anything, but we probably should look at it. I'm also excited about the flashing beacon crosswalk over, if you didn't listen to the work session, that's gonna go by Walmart, so pedestrians can safely cross, not be in jeopardy of potentially being hit. So, otherwise, we had a full agenda today, and I loved all the dialogue and the work through all the progress that we're making here. So that's all I have. So we will adjourn this meeting.
Can I add, sorry, one
Yeah.
thing, because Beth Polito was watching your discussion and she did provide feedback back to the council. So if I can just read it to you really quick. This is Beth Polito from the Imani Center, and I appreciate the conversation and look forward to continuing the conversation and sharing how we're doing as we move ahead. I did go ahead and pay our permit fee today, and we're working toward advancing the project. Thank you, Mayor Massey and Council.
Perfect. Okay. All right. With that, we'll adjourn the meeting.
You seriously are.
It's good.